Welcome to Honey Explains Money, your guide to financial clarity, where money stops being confusing and starts making sense for everyone. Let's begin this journey together right now.
Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Today, we are completely flipping the script on how you look at the markets. If you've ever felt like trading is just absolute chaos, getting chopped up by wild microtrends on a 1-minute chart, believe me, you are not alone. But today, we're going to look right past all that noise. We're zooming out to see the true underlying mechanics of the market. We're going to uncover the big picture behind trades, giving you a structured, macro-level lens so you can finally see what's actually happening behind the scenes.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start by busting the myth of magic indicators. Then, we'll expose the big money moving behind the scenes. From there, we'll break down the real mechanics of floors, ceilings, and zones, before bringing it all together with a bulletproof big-picture checklist. And finally, we'll wrap up by translating all of that macro theory into actual, profitable micro-execution. All right, part 1, the myth of magic indicators. It is time to drop the secret formulas.
Look, so many day traders struggle endlessly, right? They're bleeding capital because they're constantly chasing these tiny patterns and praying they stumble upon some holy grail indicator on a 1-minute chart. But man, those complex systems, they just distract you. Our source material highlights this massive transformation for a trader who completely abandoned that indicator chase. They went from barely scraping by, literally making like $50 a trade, to pulling in $2,000 in just 20 minutes. The secret wasn't a magic formula. It was a complete mindset shift toward mastering one repeatable process, understanding support and resistance on a macro level.
Which brings us to part 2, big money behind the trades, or what I like to call the whales versus the minnows.
So before you can truly trade support and resistance, you really have to understand the why behind it. There is this invisible hand guiding the market. Massive institutions, banks, and hedge funds. Think about it this way. You and I, we can jump in and out of a trade in the blink of an eye. But what happens when a massive hedge fund wants to buy $2 billion worth of an asset? $2 billion. They absolutely cannot just smash the market buy button. If they did, they would instantly spike the price and completely wreck their own entry.
So instead of forcing their way in, they just sit back. They place a massive limit order at a very specific price. They let the market slowly come down to them, absorbing the selling pressure, and they quietly accumulate their position over time. They also absolutely love obvious psychological round numbers, like 29,000 or 30,000 on the NASDAQ. So when the market bounces off the exact same area multiple times, yeah, it's not magic. That is big money quietly defending their price.
Let's move on to part 3, floors, ceilings, and zones. Basically, where price actually reacts.
Now that we know who is moving the market, let's break down the actual mechanics of where price reacts. Support and resistance are your foundational levels. Support acts like a floor, right? It's where the market is way more likely to bounce and push higher, because buyers are stepping in to defend it. Resistance, on the other hand, acts like a ceiling. It's where the market stalls out and reverses lower, because sellers are aggressively defending that price. Understanding these levels is literally everything, because this is exactly where we establish our directional bias.
It really boils down to this. Support is the floor, so look to buy. Resistance is the ceiling, so look to sell. I know, it sounds incredibly basic, but sticking to this simple rule keeps you perfectly pointed in the right direction of the prevailing market forces, rather than just, randomly clicking buttons and hoping for the best.
But here is the reality check you've always got to keep in the back of your mind. Every single level eventually breaks. Either all of those massive institutional orders finally get completely filled, or the buying and selling dynamics just find a completely new balance. Spotting a line on a chart, that's the easy part. The real skill, the thing that keeps you from blowing up your account, is identifying the difference between a strong level that's going to hold and a weak level that is about to collapse.
And that leads us to part 4, the big picture checklist. This is going to confirm like 90% of your trades. The overarching golden rule of this explainer is this. If the big picture trend and your macro levels do not align, there is absolutely no trade to be taken, period. To ensure they align, we have this amazing 5-step compounding checklist that we use to evaluate every single level before risking a dime. 1. Higher timeframes. 2. Extremes. 3. Multiple touches. 4. Strong moves. And 5. Zones. Stacking these effectively creates a bulletproof thesis.
Let's break those down real quick. First, check the 15, 30, or 60-minute charts. You want to identify the major swings, not the micro noise. Second, only trade the extremes. Stay far away from the choppy, unpredictable middle of the range. It's a meat grinder. Third, demand at least 2 touches. If prices bounce there twice already, you have way more confidence for that third time. Fourth, look for fast, aggressive snaps off that level, which proves big money is waiting there. And fifth, think in zones, not perfectly thin horizontal lines. The market isn't perfectly precise, and your charting shouldn't be either.
All right, let's bring it all together. Part 5, executing the reversal trade, going from macro to micro. So we've done all the macro homework. We have our zones, and we have our thesis. Now, how do we translate this macro theory into a profitable micro execution? The crucial point is understanding the difference between a healthy trend and an unhealthy move. A healthy trend moves systematically with steady pullbacks. You do not want to step in front of that. What we are actually looking for is the unhealthy move, a market that rips rapidly in one direction with 0 pullbacks, crashing violently straight into our macro support zone. Because when a market overextends itself into a major level, a reversal bounce is highly likely. Once price slams into that macro zone, that is when we finally zoom into the micro 1-minute chart so we aren't blindly catching a falling knife. So what are we looking for? First, wait for that violent, unhealthy sell-off to actually slow down. Then look for a double bottom. Most importantly, watch for a break in structure. You want to see those lower lows finally shift into higher highs. And finally, keep your eyes peeled for the ultimate signal, the failed breakout trap.
Now, what's really wild here is that most beginners are terrified of traps, but they are actually where the biggest profits hide. A failed breakout is when price just barely pokes above a previous high, completely baiting everyone into buying a breakout, only to aggressively reverse and crash back down. Learning to spot this doesn't just protect you, it actually provides some of the highest conviction reversal setups in the entire market.
By waiting for that structure to break and entering on a slight pullback, you set yourself up for incredible math. Think about it. You might be risking a relatively tight $500, but because you are trading a massive, big-picture bounce, your potential reward could easily be $2,000 or more. With a risk-to-reward ratio like that, you don't even have to be right all the time to be a highly profitable trader. The final step in execution is protecting your capital. When you catch one of these aggressive reversals, the market is going to move very fast in your favor. When it does, do not get greedy. Scale out of the trade. Sell a portion of your position to lock in real profits and trail your stop loss up. If the market suddenly chops around or reverses on you, you've already taken your risk completely off the table. Which leaves us with this final, vital question. Next time you sit down at your charts, are you going to be trading the market's chaotic noise, or are you going to step back and trade its big picture? Seriously, stop chasing the tiny indicators and start looking for the whales. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I hope you approach your next trade with a totally new macro perspective. Catch you next time.
Thanks for watching Honey Explains Money. Subscribe for more powerful insights on wealth and finance. See you in the next video.